stands up and he does it.
Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Episode 11. Yeah, baby.
Real
A-League
hip-hop.
podcast, baby. We back Saturday morning, Atlanta, Georgia. Keem is in the building.
Y'all better believe y'all already know.
Shad's in the building, man.
Let's get I am.
That sounds like Famous Dex, man. I don't know who that is, though. Jeremy is...
We don't beat women.
Is out. Yeah, we don't know. We don't condone that at all. Jeremy is out for this episode. David is out for this episode. But shout out to them, man. A-Leaguers forever. For life.
Absolutely.
So let's get into the first topic, man. Trump. We were all kind of waiting. We knew. I mean, we can't avoid what's going on with this election here. I think for most of this, our podcast, we've avoided really talking about. We don't want to give any light to this dude, no attention to him. But his comments he made about locker room talk I think that came out last week or so. And then we had LeBron and Brady talk about it and whatnot. What were your initial? I mean, y'all just go with it, man. What was your first thoughts when you heard him saying? I know this was pretty much from what we've seen before. What were y'all first thinking about, man, when you heard the so-called locker room talk that us men have on a daily basis?
Locker room talk, come again, was my initial reaction.
Yep.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's so amazing the fact that he tried to actually use like a sports analogy to try and walk back the fact that he was caught on tape saying what he was caught saying on tape. And the best thing that happened was, like you said, when LeBron pushed back and said, nuh-uh, this ain't no locker room talk. This is just straight up trash talk. The thing that got me was the Brady reaction, which I was not surprised by the Brady reaction because Brady and Trump are BFFs. But the fact that he tried to actually use a sports analogy, first of all, Trump, don't use any sports analogies no more because did anybody
What
see...
sport did you play, though?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And then he said the stuff about about the NFL players and the concussions. But Trump, the thing that I most associate Trump with sports was when I saw the ESPN 30 for 30 on the USFL and how he basically butchered the USFL.
Yes.
So as far as I'm concerned, Trump, stick to whatever it is that you stick to. That's what I'm. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
And to me, it was just when I heard it, and then you hear all the supporters coming out. You see them coming on CNN. You see Fox News, Infowars. I'm calling y'all out. My problem is when they say this type of. This is him when he was a civilian, even though he was 60 years old. We got to point that out.
Right.
It was 10 years ago, but he was still 60 years old. But for them, I really feel like they're even more empowered by what this dude did because it's like, yeah, he's definitely an anti-politician. He's definitely against the typical politician that we get every 4 years and all that kind of stuff. Like this, to me, I see them defending him more than ever. That okay, no, when you bring it up, then obviously they want to jump, and I know we're going to touch on it too, even the Clinton argument. And it, to me, I see no correlation there because that is her husband. Mm-hmm. And for me, one thing is you bringing that up as a sign of a slight against her. That shows to me even more that how you feel about women. That she stands alone as her own person. She can't control whatever Bill did. She did stand up for him like any partner would, man or woman. Like, I saw the interview, she stand up for him way back. I was so young. I had to go back and look these things up because a lot of us, like millennials, like we're not going to, we really didn't know too much when it comes to Clinton and those allegations.
I don't even remember when Clinton was president.
Yeah, Rashad, you were like one. Rashad's a baby, y'all, making me feel all the time. But yeah, so those type of things, That it was his argument when he brought it up. He brought up he did the Facebook Live when he had all the accusers of Bill Clinton out there. Yo, that was wild to me, man, because I could not believe this guy. When I watched it, I said, this guy is really doing this. Like, he's going as far, as low as possible. And then even yesterday with the comments about Lindsay Lohan, and those came out about her being depressed and how women who've been hurt are the best when it comes to, I would say, sexual interaction.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I mean, it talks about his daughter, the stuff about his daughter. I don't even want to say that. I can't repeat that. But these things keep coming out day to day, and you got people like Ben Carson still coming on and fighting for him. I know you're obligated to do so, but when I watch them, I really feel like they're trying because he's paying their checks. I mean, he's writing their checks,
Pretty much.
They deep down they know they're out of like defenses, man. At some point, you got to just be honest. This guy here has a history. This is like 20 years of we've heard. I mean, I don't want to hear about why they're just coming out now. Well, I'm happy they're coming out now. Then hit him at his highest point. You know what I mean? Like a guy like him deserves that. Should I go? I'm about to go crazy. This don't make no sense.
Yeah, man. Like when you say locker room talk, I mean the only locker room talk or anything like that I've heard is from like a high school football player when we were in high school, talking in class like, oh yeah, I got this girl. Hey man, if you on a football team, you can do everything.
Yep.
And then they get into college, 17, 18, 19 years old, and they're like, man, I'm too old for that now, bro. Like, I gotta, I gotta find a wife, and I don't want to tell my kids this story. And you know what I'm saying?
Changes, yeah.
Before the age of 20. So if you're talking about before the age of 20, well, the difference between 16 and 19, and you got, like Eric said, a 60-year-old up here talking like this, there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for it. And Donald Trump is an excuse for it, man. Period. You don't talk about women like that. You don't materialize. Is that the word? Materialize?
Well, you're a freak. I mean, it's just disrespect.
Objectify is the word.
Webster's in the building.
Is materialize a word? First of all, is materialize?
We gotta look that up.
but yeah,
you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna look that up.
You don't objectify women that way and just look at them as sexual objects, a task, a thing like that. If you're gonna criticize Black Lives Matter and black on black violence and rappers for talking about materialize.
It's a word, people.
Materialize
is a word. Go ahead, though.
But if you're gonna criticize black people, period, for the hip hop culture and objectifying women and all that, I mean, look at your folks. They're no better.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Trump listening to hip hop? They love to blame us for causing everybody who so-called hates women.
Yeah. Right. And then again, I don't want to generalize white people because Donald Trump does not represent white people, he doesn't represent Americans in general. So you have that argument as well.
His main defenders are of his skin tone. It seems like that's all I see. But
Ben Carson, his Black Hall of Fame pass has been revoked months ago.
Ben Carson.
So it's crazy how you can do such a thing like be the first man to successfully complete brain surgery and you still get kicked out the Black Hall of Fame. It's like, how's that possible, Ben Carson?
How did you do that?
But,
fall from grace.
Right, exactly. But, I mean, as far as LeBron and Brady goes, LeBron pretty much, just said the right thing as he usually does in political. Like, shouts out to LeBron. I don't really like LeBron on the court as a player. He whines too much. He travels a lot. He never gets called for it.
Never travels.
But I mean, off the court, he's a pretty good dude, and he says the right things, and he thinks about everything he does. That's why I fool with LeBron because he's very conscious and he's woke. LeBron is woke, and we need that in an athlete and a celebrity that's at the status of LeBron James. Tom Brady, his friend. I mean, like Eric said, his supporters were running out of things to say to defend him after every single thing he says, like. He just messes himself up more and more. But it doesn't matter because apparently people like it.
Yeah.
Millions of people like it because he had to get nominated. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
I thought what Brady did, I just thought that was real cowardly. Like, and I told one of my friends that, but I still feel that you walking out when the question that was addressed to him was, you have a daughter, you have daughters of your own. And how would you feel about these comments here. It wasn't about are you still voting for Trump, because we know that. I mean, he had apparently they had that picture of him in the Make America Great Again. They had the hat in his locker room. Somebody took a picture of it and it went viral. I don't know, some time ago. And he said before that his friends with Trump. So I get it. Your loyalty lies with Trump. But this is not about
Clinton
that.
are friends with Trump.
Say it again.
The Clintons are friends with Trump. That don't mean they're gonna vote for him.
Exactly.
Right.
The difference. Yeah. So
Huge difference.
I just what LeBron, even dissecting what LeBron said, it was I know technically yes, he's what he's saying is true. Like everybody in the league's not talking about that, but I'm sure conversations in locker rooms maybe about women that maybe guys are familiar with, that whatever that comes up. I don't know if LeBron was speaking 100% truth on that. That's one thing I had a problem with his statement. But I understand what he's saying is this is not the norm that we're doing. But I'm sure time to time, dudes talk, like men talk, what about stuff. It might be inappropriate for them when they say certain things. Yeah, and those are those guys. But LeBron speaking up for the whole league, which I get, like that, like you're saying, Shad, is good because it's not everybody in the league's like that. Chris Paul spoke up too and said, "Yo, like that's what locker room is he playing?" That's all he said to Trump. Like, what locker room is he in? So don't generalize everybody. But but for even going forward, I like what Michelle did, and I hope that was like a wake up call to some people that the type of disrespect.
Can we just give it up for the Obamas just in general?
Yay.
Like just let's just get a hand clap.
Always
for the
on,
Obamas.
always on it, man. They stay on it, and they always got our back, man.
and you know what is the craziest part about this? Remember when? Obama was running for the first time in 2008.
Yeah.
And the comments around this same time came out with his preacher. Saying,
Chicago preacher.
The GD America, and all that.
Yeah.
They criticized Obama more for what his pastor said a couple of years ago, before 2008, the 2008 election. But, I mean, when Obama wasn't even going to the church anymore, then they are for what Trump actually said on tape.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So, what's up with that? What's up with that, America? We trying to make America great again, and because...
And I feel like that pastor obviously his hidden agenda. I don't know who he votes for, but he was really happily going after Obama like hard. And a lot of people who actually turned later and was supporting Obama, because if you remember at the beginning, Obama had a lot of naysayers that later on were crying and all that when he won. Like, oh my God, like Jesse Jackson. I didn't want to say names, so I'm gonna call out Jesse Jackson. But they did that. Like a lot of people did that.
You know what?
Yeah. So I don't. But Trump here, it seems like it's just like he's just Trump. Like the excuse that people make for him is like, he's just Trump. Like that's what. Like no. Like stop giving dudes passes, man. Right. Call him for what it is. Call him out for what. If you're a president and if you're running for president, your pass is open for criticism.
You don't
get a curve. You don't get the pick. Yeah.
You don't get a curve just because you're not necessarily used to this.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden this is your first time for one. Obama didn't get no pass first time he ran for president.
Right. Nope.
And going back to the whole LeBron bit, it's so weird because I remember not only did LeBron come out and pretty much say, "Oh, this is not locker room talk, this is trash talk," but he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
He endorsed Hillary Clinton, and then the Cleveland Plain Dealer newspaper put in their newspaper, because the Cleveland Plain Dealer also endorsed Hillary Clinton. They said in their newspaper, he's with her, meaning LeBron's with Hillary. We're with him, meaning we're with LeBron.
So they stand behind him, yeah.
Yes.
They stand behind him, yeah, completely.
Whoever thought of that way at the Plain Dealer is a genius. Genius.
Webster in the building. Webster's here. Look, so, I mean, speaking of locker room talk, let's transition then to the next subject here with
Last thing I want to say.
Oh, go ahead, man, my bad.
The Bill Clinton argument.
Oh, yeah.
If we're going to criticize the spouse, what about Trump's spouse? Still in the speech from Michelle Obama. What if Michelle Obama do that?
She said
Can you imagine?
She said she got some help. Yeah, exactly. Madness. It's madness.
What about Trump and his own sexual infidelities?
Yes. No. And wait. When that tape came out, he was married. Like nobody's like wants to include. Like I've heard people say that, and I'm happy. Like it's getting, but it's like not. It needs to be said even more. Like he was a
girl.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yep.
She wasn't legal.
Yeah, that's true.
She even said in her speech, she was like, "I came to America and I eventually got my citizenship."
That's what she said. She said it like that.
She's there.
That's real.
At least 15 years illegally. So
That's
why?
sad.
So why do we want to get rid of the illegals so bad, Trump? Is it really just the illegals, or is it one specific group of illegals you're trying to get out? Because we all know the answer here.
Call them out. Call them out, dog. Call 'em out.
Racism. You hate women. Sexism.
It's all. This dude embodies all of that, and his supporters embody every bit of that. That's
Even
what
the
I-
women.
I ain't backing out for yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. Like,
Yeah.
what are y'all saying?
It's ridiculous.
So look,
We don't even know what y'all said.
yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric. Go
Also,
ahead.
no, look.
Just had
So
to get
speaking
that
of
out.
locker room talk, then let's go into the WNBA, and I'm sure in their locker rooms they talk about plenty of frustration when it comes to maybe some of the lack of support they get. Keem, you write about plenty about the WNBA. Like, how do you feel about? But the playoffs are. See, I'm doing it right now. The playoffs are in full swing and everything,
Yep.
and
WNBA Finals is a
finals.
matter
I'm
of
sorry,
fact.
finals is in full swing. See, look at that. That's what I said.
I'm all in this.
I'm not even aware of what's going on. I got to be honest. But so you tell me, like, what's your take on that? Like,
I mean, as far as, I guess, locker rooms and, the lack of support and they're, kind of frustrated. I can understand, their frustration because especially coming off of the Olympics. I think in most years, I think that it would be, because I think in many ways they're kind of used to, I guess, going into stadia that are not necessarily full in comparison to what the NBA gets. There are occasions where WNBA playoff games aren't as well attended as NBA preseason games. There are occasions as to where WNBA playoff games aren't as well marketed as NBA preseason games.
Yeah.
So I feel their frustration when they say that, that they kind of feel a little bit, upset as far as lack of support because 20th anniversary. In fact, I remember I was just talking with someone in the San Francisco Bay Area for a story I just did for BeyondTheW.com. By the way, go ahead and check it out.
hey,
Plug
that in there. Plug that in there. Plug
Pure
that in there.
shameless plug. But I just talked to someone and one of the things that I remember having those conversations with them about was how they somewhat believe that in the future, perhaps maybe WNBA arenas in the future may need to be only about 5,000 to 8,000 capacity, as opposed to putting them in stadia like the Phillips and MSG and Key Arena and the Verizon Center in
that's
DC.
sad to think about.
It really is. It
that's
really
like
is.
a high school gym. That's even. I mean, this high school gym's bigger than that though.
Yeah.
Like wow. I mean, it's for them. Like you said, it's still a young league. At the end
20
of the day.
years.
20
They just
years.
celebrated 20th anniversary this year.
That's still that's very young. So it's and for them, I think what they need is what the NBA got when right before, I think right out of the 70s and when Bird and Magic came, because we know Bird and Magic really saved the NBA.
A rivalry.
You need a rivalry, some form of fashion, like somebody that's going to draw fans to be like pick sides. You got to pick sides.
You got the Brittany Griner and Gloria Johnson. That's
See,
I don't think they're gonna do it.
That's a rivalry. I mean, I watched the game and the first time they played
rest
each
in
other
peace.
in June. That was
Yeah.
You talk about
Yeah.
man. Hey, you're not gonna have
Man.
drama like that in the NBA where they used to be married and they had a kid together. And they got a divorce.
Oh, that's what happened?
She
hooped?
Salt.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember. I didn't read about that. I read about that.
And,
but wow.
That you never gonna have that, and they was fighting. Oh man.
Okay,
I mean,
you're
you're not gonna have that in it.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that.
You said you want rivalry. It don't get more.
It don't get better than that.
My thing with the WNBA is, I felt like it was like I would say about a decade ago. Right now, it was more. It was more like more highlighted, better marketed. I don't know if that's just me. Like I grew up and I didn't realize how much attention they didn't get, or if they actually. What do you think, Akeem?
I mean, I think that they've definitely grown. But what I think, like you said, in terms of building up rivalries, if they want a rivalry, it would have to be like, say, like between like their two top stars. Like, say, like if it was even in this year's WNBA Finals, like if it was like Maya Moore and Candace Parker, that would be something, especially for Candace Parker, because Candace Parker in this WNBA Finals has a chip on her shoulder after being left off of the Olympic team. So she's out.
She's coming for it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But,
and everybody's been saying that's been her MO this entire year.
Yeah.
You want to leave me off the Olympic team? Oh yeah, watch this. I'm about to put a ring on my finger.
But really,
It looks like Maya took her shine a little bit. But
no, what's her name? Took her shine on her own team. Nama Edeeko.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, no, that's nowhere near her name.
Yeah, but we're gonna run with it. Facts don't matter. Facts don't matter.
Right. So, but she is really took over the shine. Like she won the MVP this year in the WNBA.
Oh, wow, okay.
Ahead of Candace Parker. It's
at that. I
crazy.
did not
It's
know
like
that.
the top two runners were like both on the Sparks. But the way I feel about the WNBA period is I watch the WNBA and I support it because I love basketball. I love the game.
Yeah.
We were talking about this in the group chat earlier this week when we were talking about the NBA. The NBA isn't going to be fun. I want to watch it. And David Norwood, shouts out to David, was like, man, the playoffs are boring. The playoffs have been boring. And I'm like, dude, what? The playoffs have been, like, awesome. Even though you know what's going to happen at the end, like, during the first round, second round, like, the things like Steph Curry, like, being hurt and playing limited minutes, but he came in the fourth quarter against Portland.
And went ham for 41.
Yeah, exactly. No, first of all, went in to even send it to overtime because they were behind. And then in overtime, he scored 17. That was ridiculous, bro. I've never seen. So, like, you see things like that throughout the playoffs every single year, I feel like. And I was like, David, you don't love the game. Like, I love the game, so I watch anything. I watch,
But you just like ball. You're like you're purist, basketball purist when it comes. You just like you don't need highlights. You don't need blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
You're just
I
you just like
game.
see them playing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's just how I feel about the WNBA.
Yeah.
And Breonna Stewart, she brought this attention to the stage when she won her ESPY. I think it was best college woman athlete. And she said, at UConn, we got so much attention every single day, every single game, every practice. And then I got to the WNBA, and it's like, what? Please support the WNBA. And she said this on national TV. I thought it would help a little bit. And the Olympics, like Hakeem said, but it didn't help at all.
Yeah.
And the game last night in Staples was pretty empty.
Wow.
And it was empty when we had it in Atlanta a couple years.
Yeah,
it was pretty empty, yeah. So
no, I completely agree with her. Like, I thought about that. All the WNBA players that I was a big fan of, like, I was a bigger fan of them when they were in college. Like, straight up. I think they get a lot more attention. Like she said, she just dead on right. Like, in college, they are blowing up. But we're like, yo, she's about to be nice. Even with, I remember Elena Beard, Sue Bird, who's the recent one here that all the...
Wait, you remember them in college?
Yeah, and in college, yeah. I remember that. See, you a young boy. So, see...
No, those the best of the league.
See, exactly. Yeah. So I remember them in college. And even recently, who's the one that... everybody like loves, and Lil Wayne shouted her out.
Diggins.
Diggins, yeah. She was bigger in college than now. I know she got hurt, but
she was on His and Hers yesterday.
Look at that. But she does. She's able to do other things outside of basketball. Like, she's pretty. I guess she's pretty talented, but still, like,
just pretty,
and very pretty. Yeah, she's very pretty. That threw me off. So it's like those things contribute to the fact that people are just, they're not as interested in it. They're like, all right, she did well. Like, college was cool watching her. She balled out. She did all this stuff for UConn or whoever was Stanford. She comes like, all right, that's enough. I'm done following her. And it's weird for me because, like, their draft is like the next day after they.
It's like immediately after.
So there's no hype. There's no build up. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So wait, the draft is over. Like, I'm like, all right.
But it's usually like they have the perfect week. Like the star players, like Candace Parker, Maya Moore, Brittany Griner. They win like the national championship, MVP. They finish off a perfect college career, and the next day they're the number one draft pick.
It's
like, wow, what
too
a week.
Soon. Exactly.
Like, that's a heck of a transition.
Like, you're never gonna have a greater
into
week.
the pros.
Right, exactly.
You can't be a greater best week than that.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, even the calling out, even the papers. I know a lot of papers don't cover it. AJC, they don't cover the WNBA as they should. And it's like those type of things contribute to it as well. And then you have, I remember just growing up, and whenever we did run into some female hoopers, it was just like their best player, their favorite players, and all that would be obviously NBA guys. They didn't care about, and this is when WNBA was about 10 to 12 years, within the league. But it's still, it's like they were more wanting to be like us and play like us than, So I can understand that. I guess they give us the type we're a lot more flashier. It's it looks like a more athletic game, which it is.
More glamour.
More glamour is to it.
More
so
glitz.
When women basketball players say women basketball is boring to watch,
all the time. Yeah.
It kind of hurts. It's like, dang. Like,
Yeah, that one cuts deep.
It does.
That bit cuts
and
deep.
some of them don't even want to watch it. They feel like they're just watching it out of duty. It's not like because they actually really want to watch it. They feel like they're doing a service to the
country.
NBA. Yeah. It's like, yo, I'm paying respect to them. But I don't know. Like we were saying, there's so many things that it can happen to make this league a lot more popular and get some more support behind them. Like we even saw when they stand up when they're advocating for civil rights, or not even civil rights, but just human rights, which really what should be called. But when they did that, they didn't get as much as backing as they should, and we remember that. Even some things like that, they don't get the support. So it's like, what can they do, to really garner more attention? I don't know. It's going to take some time, man. Still to this day, when people watch WNBA, they're just like, oh man, those girls can hoop. Like that's it. But you have to. But you don't have to say that. Just say, yo, that's name that player and be like, she's good, or whatever. She can do this. But you don't have to say that girl can hoop. You know what I mean? Like those things still.
You don't necessarily got to say girl got game because we already know they got game.
Exactly. That's corny now. Like, don't the commercials with all that. Like, it's like, nah, it is corny. Like we get it. She can hoop. But like those things, if they go away, then I think it will help more when people just take the game seriously. People make so many jokes and vines about it like all the time.
I got a question for y'all. So the WNBA is pretty open with support and pride and everything.
Yeah.
And the Dream had a Pride Day and stuff. How do you guys feel? The Hawks past week had the Unity game. How do you guys feel about like professional sports stances on Pride?
And I did catch that. Well, especially Atlanta being where we are. The Hawks, I think it was necessary for them to do so.
Absolutely.
I'm cool with that, for sure. I saw the shirts that Dwight, he's been talking about, and he was hinting at that even at the media day. I don't know if you remember, you were there. He said they were going to do something special.
Right.
So that was really exciting to see. But I think regardless of where you're at, I know Atlanta we do because we have a large population, but wherever you're at, I think you have to be fair and all around. What they're doing even and for Charlotte, we talked about that. It's good.
Right.
Taking it away. I think that's another stance. That's another way of them showing that they're in support. So the NBA is, to me, they're always ahead of the curve compared to other leagues. So I'm in full support of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah. Especially when it comes to certain months, whether it be with the Unity game or whether it be with Hispanic heritage or African American heritage, because they wear, if I remember correctly, they wear when they want to honor Hispanic heritage, they wear the shirts in Spanish, particularly in large Hispanic Latina markets like New York and San Francisco and LA and Miami, Chicago, stuff like that.
They do. That's really dope. That's their way.
All right, so they do that, but my thing is, I never seen the the NBA other than the players, but the actual NBA, the league, or the WNBA come out and just blatantly say Black Lives Matter.
Oh, they're not going to do it though. They're not. But a lot of when they make statements, when Adam Silver does, I mean, he says it without. I guess that's him just playing it somewhat safe. I don't know if he's playing it safe, but when you read in between the lines, I understand what he's trying to say. I would like for him to just flat out say it like you're saying. Just go ahead and say, what's the problem here? I mean, I don't know. I saw Ben and Jerry's the other day even say, like, Black Lives Matter.
Right.
You saw that? And it's like, and they got some backlash for that. But I'm like, I love their, exactly, Keem. Like, I love the boldness. So I like what you're saying, like what you're hinting at, Rashad. It's just like, just be out, right, and just say, your league is 80% black anyway.
Right.
What is it going to hurt? Like, a lot of these guys themselves bring in money, so it's not like you're hurting for or whatever. Like these NBA players on their own, they stand alone, and a lot of these guys are very good at that. So I think what you're saying is true, though. I mean, I would like the NBA just to flat out say it, but when I read the statements from Silver and even Stern, last Commissioner Stern, it was the same. They had the same type of rhetoric. I knew what they were trying to say, but they didn't flat out say it. Yeah,
True. It's like, because I mean, like human rights, that's what all leagues need to stand for and stuff. But I feel like if we're going to do one and flat out say it and go out on a limb and say I'm supporting this, I think you should do it for everyone.
Yeah, that's real.
That's kind of what WNBA president Lisa Borders kind of did after the rescinding of the fines for the wearing of the Black Lives. Yeah, right. After, and now she's her tone has been essentially to quote unquote encourage dialogue on the matter. That's what Lisa Borders has been saying.
Yeah, and they're open. Her and Silver seem to be open to that, like letting players express them. Well, other than the fine, but for the most part, they let them express themselves. I wish, like, even just fairness alone, I wish players would. Well, I mean, that might be even personal, but even just speaking up for every type of injustice, though. Like, obviously they're gonna do Black Lives Matter because that most of the league, that's what for them is personal. But there's other, like you said, there's other people fighting for their rights that would also like to be spoken up for. So I would like for it to become more of a daily discussion than ever before. And I think that would be great for the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but let's. I see you shot, man. You throwing wrenches in the.
I mean, I was.
What's
really
up, man?
We
got a schedule here, man.
We're gonna have to cut a couple topics.
Nah, we good. Let's get to the. Y'all want to talk about Westbrook real quick and his that was just great, man. I think everybody knows Durant made his comments about how selfless this team is. He's playing for. And they're playing basketball in its purest form. And look, there's nothing wrong with him praising his team now, but he has to understand any type of praise that he heaps on his new team is going to be a slight against the Thunder. And I don't care how you try to shape your words, Durant, it's going to come out the exact same. And so when he told Westbrook, and we saw Westbrook with the face, and he just looking just so he's like, he said that? Like, I was like, he said that's cute. That's cute. Well, look, I'm going to worry about the teammates I got here since the selfish teammates I have here, and then we're going to try to figure out what we're going to do. But Westbrook, and after that, he said, look, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. This is the last time I'm going to discuss it because all year long they're going to be poking this bear until they meet. Oh, yes. And they don't even meet till what, like second half of the season? Or I forgot the schedule, but I don't think they meet till like. I
don't know.
Yeah, they don't meet till like February. If I'm correct, like
NBA missed a huge opportunity. By the way,
why did they not make
They
it
should have
sooner?
made it Christmas.
Yes, that's what I was like.
Put them on Christmas.
I don't want to wait.
Shaq Kobe on Christmas.
Thank you. Right. Remember that? Remember that? That's when Shaq elbowed Andrew Bynum in the head. That was funny though. Shaw got that Kanye playing.
Easy.
That's graduation, ain't it?
Yeah, that's graduation up.
Yeah. So, and then obviously Draymond came to his defense and said, "What is people's problem?" Like Paul Pierce, nobody cares what you have to say. This is his new team now. He left that team. He's with us now. He said people don't get mad when somebody leaves Google to go to Apple or vice versa. So, what is the big problem with Durant coming to a new team? I don't know. I mean, this seems like it's going to keep getting talked about all year long. November 3rd? No way.
TNT, November 3rd.
November 3rd?
10:30.
Okay.
I still say they should have put it on Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a bad time, 10:30.
Yeah.
Kids can't watch that. They got class in the morning.
You got kids?
No.
I thought you said I got kids. I was like, whoa. What?
Wait,
I was saying for the kids.
Oh, okay, for the kids.
Can't watch that.
But, no, I mean, but for me, it was... This alone is the best story of the season. We get it. But, I mean, at some point in time, Durant's just going to have to actually make, like, a bold statement and just flat out say what he really means and then, like, leave it at that and say, I'm not going to say anything anymore. Because you can't keep trying to, like, dance around. We know what you're really trying to say against your former team. So just flat out, make a statement, say something about maybe why you left. Because he really hasn't said that still. And then just say that, and my relationship with Westbrook is this, and then leave it. Like, if you do that, I respect that more than trying to dance around it. Like, you're trying to be a nice guy. Which he does that a lot. Like, they're trying to be nice.
If Westbrook actually played on Team USA and Durant did?
That would have been, oh, no. I think that's why Westbrook definitely didn't play on there. I think that's where he's like, yo, I'm not trying to be around this dude. Like, you serious? I'm going back to Cali.
He said, who? Play with who?
Yeah, but... Oh, you saw him on Jimmy Fallon when he did that?
Kevin Durant? Oh, that's cute.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out. So, yeah. So, that was quickly. Let's get into even the Bennett brothers, man. Rashad brought up a good question. Like, are they being genuine? Rashad, what made you get to that?
I mean, when I saw, so we saw the first ones when they brought out the first few, sound bites from their interviews in July, the end of July, early August. And then, people were talking about it. But then they put out the rest of the interview this past week. And it was just like the things they were saying was so outlandish. You could tell that they were saying it to get a reaction. And they knew what they were doing when they did these interviews. You know what I'm saying? They knew that ESPN, His and Hers, First Take, Sports Nation, Sports Center, FS1, whatever the bootleg First Take is. They knew everybody was going to talk about it. So if you knew everybody was going to talk about it and stuff, I think they're saying this for a TV deal. They're trying to get a TV deal at the end of the
But
thing.
Martellus and them Martellus, they've been this way for the longest.
Right.
All right.
Now there's a difference between being real and knowing that you're saying things to get attention.
No, I get it. No. What he knew when he said those things about Jason Garrett, about Jason Witten, about who's the other guy there? Jason Garrett, Jason Witten, and the quarterback Cutler. When he said, those are, to me, those are things that I think a lot of people, well, especially about Jay Cutler, those are things that I think a lot of people wanted to hear about. I know I wanted to hear from him. And nobody else is going to say it because NFL is hella PC, man. Like, I can only imagine.
Absolutely.
I've never been in a locker room. I never had to, cover a game. But I can be sure that I bet you they give you some of the, blandest answers ever. Just
pure player speak, pure coach speak.
Yeah, so it's it's all about, for them, they're like a corporation. They're all about, people always say all the time, which is true, they're just about the shield. So most of the players there, they're not going to say the truth. But for them, I don't know what they gain from it. From them just being honest, because they've said that this is how they've been since they got in the league, which a lot of people get mad at them for that. They get a lot of, don't think they just get a lot of praise for just being honest. They get a lot of criticism for being outspoken like they are, especially Michael. Well, Martellus is the more outspoken one. But Michael himself, they've said things for Black Lives Matter, and they weren't afraid. They called out, I think we talked about it, they called out Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, other
Russell
quarterbacks.
Wilson.
Russell, yeah. They've done it. So they've done it all. I don't think, they don't do those things, I don't feel like, just to get a TV show, because you just got to be who you are, man. This is what we want. I want players like this in the NFL more.
Yeah.
In sports, period. If you're gonna be out there as a fan, as anybody, as a journalist who's covering it, we want you to be 100% with us and stop trying to dance around it. There's too much dancing around lately.
You just made a very good point as far as players in general that try to be, too politically correct, and they try to say, too much of all the right things. It's so amazing because, sometimes players, it's a tightrope that sometimes that they have to walk for the sake of their own brand, for the sake of their own team. But like you said, I appreciate that. But the thing that I don't get is when we hear the reaction to comments like this in the press, and it's like, oh, they shouldn't have said this, they shouldn't have said that, they shouldn't have said this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, what the Sam Silky want him to say?
Yeah.
What in the Sam Silky do you want them to say? And then when they walk back their comments, and then when they go back to being PC, then they're like, oh, this is boring. Why do we got to do these interviews? They're just gonna say the same old stuff that we hear in every single interview. So what do y'all want?
In between.
Make up your minds.
That's what I saw.
Get off the fence.
I saw Lisa Salter say that about Eli Manning, and at E60 she was like, "Who are the most PC?" God, she said she jumped out and said Eli Manning real quick, and she just looked like, all right. I was like, she's like, I couldn't wait to get that out. But the only knock what they really did is now if I'm a player with them, I'm a little uncomfortable with in the locker room just talking with them, because what are they gonna run and tell then? Because they look like they have no filter at all. So it's whatever said in the locker room is just, that's it. We're gonna let it. I'm gonna go run out here. If next interview they might hear about this. So I think they might lose trust. I get what you're saying, Shaw. When it comes to what they're doing, it's looking out really for them. I get that maybe it brings more attention to them, but it's damn. I don't know. They're being who they are, who they've always been. And even in that E60, what I also didn't like, I would have to say, just to be fair, was even the using of trying to denigrate players by calling them the B word and whatnot. That was all right, Martellus. Damn. Now you're really gonna take attention away from the whole thing, because you just you called everybody out. He talking about if he pretty much told my man Brandon Marshall, you can get it. If you want these hands, you can, come on. So that was he was really going in on everybody, and I was like, I get it. He said you come from that, you're a tough dude. That's what you that's what you claim to be, then I guess you got to live up to it. But still, you ain't got to call him all that. But that might have took away attention from all of really what he was trying to say. He called out Goodell. Even Michael called out Russell Wilson for being too PC. You know, like they were talking about like being like just conforming to what people want them to be. And not saying Russell is, but Russell can be corny. So let's just be honest. So he says corny answers. These dudes are like, that's
So
not
be
who.
careful, Eric.
Yeah, who gonna come at? Sierra gonna come after me?
Hey,
I ain't worried about Sierra.
Hey, where is
Run up.
Where's Rob Parker been?
Where's Rob Parker?
Where's Rob Parker been?
I am not touching on Rob Parker territory. Yeah, you're right though. He really did. He vanished. He went back to Detroit, I think.
I think he did. I think I think he's working at a TV station in Detroit.
Okay. Well, shout out to him. He got a job. He's working.
I think we talked about this before. But
What?
I saw him at a Hawks game. Rob Parker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I saw him at a Hawks game
Yeah.
when the Hawks opened up against Detroit a couple years ago. I was like, Rob Parker, hey man, it's cool, great to see you. He's like, great to see you, brother.
Oh, look at that. See, Rob Parker's a good man.
Well,
Right.
I mean, you got to be humbled after what happened. You know.
That was
Yeah,
ugly.
exactly.
I still think it was kind of. I would get into that. I mean, it looked like it was a little overblown to me, but because I get what he was trying to say. I don't know if it was.
I mean, you kind of just said what he just said.
No, but
He
look,
said to get kicked
look,
off.
look. I said what he didn't say. All right. Look, my thing is he was trying to say that is RG3 a real brother or a corny brother, but he said this is what people in the barbershops are talking about, which we know that's what they're really saying. Like, yo, is he really being real? Is he a little corny? It's a valid point. Like Russell Wilson. Look, man, you're a great quarterback.
Yeah.
You do great things. You do great things.
You got
but
Sierra.
sometimes
You're
you
winning
got
all
Sierra,
matches.
which is cool, even though she's washed. But you got Sierra and all that. But dude,
Sierra shots.
Oh,
Okay,
I
you
gotta
try
be
you
honest.
try to sneak that in
dude,
there.
Shaw,
Okay, you don't.
am I lying? Though?
Are you future
Am I
hype?
lying? Is she
Future
washed
hype
or not?
over here?
I got to side with shot on.
Oh, come on.
I got to side with shot on.
Is
that.
she not washed? Okay,
She's-
that's a whole nother.
Sierra is Sierra.
Oh, gosh.
I got to side with shot.
Is she Atlanta legend? I mean, look. Anyway, Rashad is over there. Look. Y'all got me.
Rashad
now I got to take
Milligan
shots at
has
the.
not said anything.
Yes, he has. Yes, he
if
has.
Any employers listening to this?
No.
This is not the voice of Rashad.
Hire
Milligan
him.
here.
This is, I speak of. No, but look, nothing against Russell Wilson. But look, man, if I want to hear from NFL guys that's going to be like straight up honest about what happened, I want to hear the brothers, like the Bennett brothers. And if that causes them to get a TV show, then great, I'm going to watch it. But
Or-
I ain't watching Russell Wilson TV show. That's
Or a radio show. Because I remember a long time, I think the NFL channel on Sirius XM satellite, they once gave a radio show to the Barber brothers, Tiki and Rondé.
yeah. They
So
did.
if they're going to give a radio show to anybody, they can do it for the Bennett brothers.
can do it, yeah.
Exactly.
I would definitely listen to that. I don't know who would it be. Yeah, who would it be? But yeah, I think when they're done playing, they're probably going to get a little bit even more popular.
Well,
just because
one
they
of the
say
Rondé
whatever.
brothers, side note, criticized someone for Kaepernick, I think, for his protest.
Didn't he leave his wife for? He left his wife for a pregnant woman. Remember that?
What?
Tiki. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We can't say that, listeners. We can't. We can't say that. But he did
Get
do
down,
some
girl.
scandalous
Go ahead, get
things,
down.
and he's trying to criticize other people for doing what they feel is right. But that's for Tiki to deal with, man. We ain't worried about Tiki Barber. So let's get into the last topic here. Tommy Ford Martin, man. Rest in peace, man. That happened so soon.
Yeah.
It happened so sudden. Only 52 years old. He was really popular here in Atlanta more than I was aware of. But here we got some clips of him.
I mean, they all know me, so everybody knows me. Whatever you say. That's right. Meanwhile, why don't you give me your resume, okay? I'll take it to work with me. See, we got some openings coming up. You know, Tommy! What? Come on, man. Why you gonna lie to the brother, man? No, man, come on, man. You know you ain't got no job, man. Come on, man. I don't appreciate you playing with the job system like that.
Man, Coco, don't worry about it, all right? Man, look, if you can't find any work, I'll put in a good word for you at my job, man.
You ain't got no job, man. What the hell, man? You just happen to have a blowtorch with you.
I need this for work, man. Ain't got no job.
You're very lucky to make it out that crash with just an injured wrist.
Yeah, no. You know, it's a good thing I have my company car, huh?
But your chart says here you ain't got no job, man.
Look, guys, Aqua and I set up a meeting with the CEO of her company. They offered me the job.
That is great! What are you going to be doing in at your new job?
Same thing I was doing at my last job.
Now, Tommy, I didn't waste my mind when I got that job yesterday, now did I?
Wait a minute. Somebody actually hired you?
Oh, yeah, I got a job working with Tommy.
Working with Tommy?
Yep.
When did you start, Cole?
I don't know.
Where's the office at, Cole?
I don't know.
Well, what do you do, Cole?
Same thing as Tommy.
Same thing as Tommy.
Yep.
And you ain't got no job, man.
So that's a couple. That's a couple clips from Tommy. Tommy Ford when he played Tommy on Martin, and he was easily one of the just most liked characters. As soon as he passed, that was what everybody was sending around was those type of clips, man. Like when you're that character alone, like make him so like iconic in a way. It was just. You see Tommy, all those jokes about like not having a job, those memes, which is his face on it, talking about I got to go to sleep, I got to work in the morning, and all those stuff. Like it was just funny. He was always cool. I mean, being cool about it and went along with the joke, man. But yeah, no, it was real shocking, and I didn't even know he was active in DeKalb County, like my own county. I didn't know what he was doing, but apparently he was just out there trying to reach kids and pretty active in his community with trying to start programs of reading and other things like that. So he was very active, and at the core of it, he was just trying to make a change, man. We can be out here and talk as much as we want, but he was about it. So that was really cool. That was really cool to read up on that. But yeah, man, Tommy for sure is definitely iconic, and we're always when we watch Martin episodes, I'm always howling and laughing when it comes to him and his scenes, man, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
Martin, man, Martin will never be the same. Martin will never be the same. But when we watch it was still. I mean, we got those memories of Mr. Ford, man. He was here in Atlanta. When you come to Atlanta and you make that type of impact, and he's from Cali, but that you still feel like you're from Atlanta. Like we kind of embrace you like you're our own. So people here are really fond of him. And when he did pass, a lot of people I saw here from Atlanta speaking out about when they interacted with him and how much fun and joy he was and genuine. So that was cool to see, man, for sure.
Like he became one of us.
Yeah, you become your own Atlanta dude. So shout out to Mr. Ford. Rest in peace, man.
First of all, I didn't know his name was Tommy until he was on life support. And they were like, Martin starred Tommy Ford on life support, not dead. And I was like, wait, Tommy's name is Tommy? Like, it's actually...
Yeah. Is that real?
Yeah, right. And, I'm not the biggest Martin fan. Like, I didn't really like Martin, the show.
You got to get out.
But you know the character. Like, he's, like he said, like, it's Urkel, Carlton, Tommy. Like, characters like those, everybody knows. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Bars. Yep. But, I mean, it's,
Is he one of those guys?
52 years old. 2016 has been a year, man.
Yo, for real.
It's been crazy. Jose Fernandez. I forgot Kimbo Slice passed.
Kimbo.
I saw it because Nike released a shoe with Jose Fernandez on one side and Kimbo on the other. I was like, Kimbo Slice did pass this year, too.
Yeah.
Pat Summitt.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, baby.
Fife.
Man, don't even get me. Fife one was like, that was my dude, man. Like growing, that's like my favorite. That's like one of my favorite rappers, top 5 easily. And that was like seeing that happen. I was like, what? Like when? Like first of all, just seeing the timeline because we don't know when they're sick.
Right.
So like out of sight, out of mind. So it's like, all right, so everybody thinks they're cool, and then once they pass, and everybody's like, all giving all this attention.
He did A3C last year.
He did. You're right.
A3C last year. So
and they got an album coming out.
Bankroll Fresh did A3C last year.
He did? Okay. Yeah.
I saw him there.
And just recently we lost Shawty Low.
Shawty Low. Yo, they need to approve that Parkway. You saw that petition?
Shawty Low Parkway?
Yeah, they need to give him his own Parkway because I want to tell people.
On Bankhead?
Yeah, I want to tell people, yo, make a ride on Shawty Low Parkway. I want to say that.
that.
I want to be able to say that. Like, that'd be hard.
don't know, man.
Yeah. You don't want to say Shawty Low?
Hey, man,
What?
you got to think, bro. Like, I seen about 5 Shawty Low tributes at A3C. I covered A3C this year. And, you know, the man only has
Airbrush T-shirts.
He only has so many hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you think we're overdoing it with how great he was?
Hey, you got to respect the OGs and the legends. He is a legend because when you have a hit like They Know and you was a part of D4L and that movement, you are exactly. You are a legend. You know, your stamp in Atlanta and especially Bankhead history is, you know,
sound like you about to say but. You're about to do a huge but though.
Right.
You about to, look. The next words coming out of Rashad, I have no. I don't want no part of that because they're not gonna come from me. So go ahead, Rashad.
You telling me, Soulja Boy, bro? Soulja Boy has plenty of hits. He's a legend.
This is how you know the age gap, man. Get out of here, dude. Soulja Boy. You bring up Soulja Boy in the same sentence as Shawty Low, like for what?
Shawty Low and Soulja Boy, they got the same amount of hits.
How we get on this?
Nah.
Soulja Boy.
How do we get on this?
Soulja Boy and Lil B have influenced. Soulja Boy and Lil B have influenced this entire generation.
I forgot you were born like 2 days ago.
Soulja Boy and Lil B have influenced. There is no Yachty.
Lil B has the influence
Uzi.
because he. Wait.
Are you trying to say Soulja Boy? He's influenced more people than Shawty Low has. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying those two are legends. If they pass, are you?
If you're saying Shawty Low's a legend, then you're saying Soulja Boy's a legend.
No. I'm saying those two are legends.
Oh, they are legends. Okay.
Because they've had their hits and then they've influenced an entire generation of artists.
Soulja Boy. Okay, so you're probably one of those people who think Bow Wow's a legend too, right?
I think Bow Wow is a important child star.
Oh, child star. Okay,
child star.
All right, cool. So I can respect that. Soulja Boy, what he did, the ringtone era. Boom, I give him that. He started the whole thing. Yeah, he got
the internet.
Well, the ringtone thing, I'm saying too.
And the internet.
The dance on the video.
Yeah, YouTube.
He made YouTube pop.
You got to talk about just people making he's the first one that came up on the internet.
Yeah, no, he was. I got YouTube. He made YouTube really pop.
Exactly.
Really.
And Lil B created a cult following on the internet.
He did. Remember when he got snuffed? I found out about Lil B when he got punched in the face, and he got popular.
You didn't know about him from the pack?
No,
I'm riding in my car.
Yeah, no, and
got my Vans on.
That's when I saw him. Yeah, but I didn't even know that was him. Then.
Yeah. But we didn't know that was.
I just saw him when he got snuffed. Yeah,
I knew. My friend showed me I think it was. I cooked, and then I was like,
cook.
I was like, this is like a real song. Like I thought it was a parody, and I was just cracking up the whole time. I was like, this dude is so stupid.
Yo,
and then and then I kept listening to it. I was like singing it, dancing, doing the cooking dance. I was like, this is amazing.
Him and Soulja Boy are so good at that, making you end up liking a song that's like, yo, this is trash.
Right.
But why am I tapping? Like, why am I jigging to this? Like, why am
I'm saying, but my main argument is,
go ahead.
If they pass before we expect them to pass, will you rename a street after them?
Wait, which one of these? Shawty Low,
or a city after them, or no?
Shawty Low's big in Bankhead. You know that, like he is. He's like a god. That they love him.
T.I. is the king of the South.
He's king of the South,
and he's from Bankhead.
When T.I. passes, we definitely.
He said there must be two sides. hey, rest in peace.
Yeah, everybody saying that, man.
L's up for Shawty Low.
Yes, for sure, man. All right, well, look.
Long story short, I wouldn't rename Bankhead.
Really? No, I'm doing that for sure. I don't care. I'm all for it. But episode 11, man, is in the books. Akeem, the preacher, Rashad, what is Rashad? What you going by now? Because you changing your name every week, man.
The GOAT.
The GOAT?
No, I'm not the GOAT. I'm not the GOAT. That's Dansby Swanson.
So look, man, we covered Trump, we covered Westbrook and KD, we did WNBA, even Rashad threw us off with the topic of, because he over there just contemplating how I'm going to get these dudes today. But that was a good subject. We talked about NBA support, the LGBT community and stuff like that. Then obviously Tommy Ford passing, man. So you guys check us out, A-League on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. Let's go around the room real quick. Eric Yaboa speaking right now. eYaboa5 was the Twitter. Eric.com. EricYaboa.com. I just go to Eric.com. I can't do that. I ain't no mogul. EricYaboa.com. And B-Ball Breakdown. I will be having something coming up pretty soon, so just look out for that. User.
Akeem Balaam on the gram and on the Twitter, also at AkeemBalaam.com, and also, as I mentioned earlier, check out my stuff at BeyondTheW.com.
RashadMilligan.com. You can find me at Hawks games.
Word. I see him. He'd be up there too.
And then
nachos and chilling.
And then I also just want to say watch Atlanta this week.
What? Wait. What? What did you say?
What?
Wait. What is that? You guys. You don't want to say again. What did you say, Rashad?
Have a great week, everyone.
That's not what you meant. All right, man. Episode 11, man. We out.
Peace.
Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.